Welcome to my live. Welcome to my live. Ain't nobody joined yet. It's all good. Welcome to my live. Come on in here. Come on in here. I'm gonna give it about another minute, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna start talking because it's really like a quick story time. And then what I'll do for anybody who missed the live, I'm gonna chop up the story time, edit it, and you'll see it. I mean, like you see every other video that I post, right? So that's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. It's late. It's I said Gen X come in. Gen X probably in the bed. Look, Gen X got to work, man. Gen X probably in the bed. So I'm gonna keep this story time. I'm gonna try to keep it short and sweet. But and then obviously I'm gonna cut it up, dice it up, edit it, put it on Facebook, put it on YouTube, put it everywhere. But I called for Gen X. I told them to go on, come in here because I wanted to talk about something, man. It's time that we heal. It's time that we deal with our traumas. It's time that we lead. So I said, Gen X, bring it on up in here. It's time that we lead. It's time that we heal. Now, peep me out, peep me out, peep me out. If you're a Gen Xer, then you were a latchkey kid, or you were likely a latchkey kid. Now, I don't remember the birth years, but I think it was like, wasn't that like 1966 through 1980. I think that's considered Gen X, or 1979. That's considered Gen X. So I want to just holler at you for a minute, right? And I want y'all to throw me all the love and all the support that you can. But I really want to deal with our trauma because we all are traumatized. You hear me? We were likely latchkey kids. You know, what does that mean, right? Besides the lantern with the key on it and you got to go to school, it meant more than that. It meant that your mom, if you were in Dallas, had to catch the DART bus at 5, 6 a.m. in the morning, right? Because most parents worked downtown Dallas. That's how it was back then. Well, if your mom or your dad was gone, if your dad lived there, then that meant you had to wake yourself up for school, right? And y'all can comment, you can thumbs up. You had to wake yourself up from school, right? Yeah. Like you said, J-Rock, yeah. My homie slapped you in the butt. No, man, ain't no man ever slapped me in living. And I mean that. So yeah, going on with your trolling, homie. But man, you ran me hot real fast. Hold up, my face done turned red. So you got the latch for school. You got to cook yourself some breakfast, or maybe on the free lunch, maybe you're on the reduced lunch. And if you're not on either one of those, then you're paying the whole 95 cents, because that's how much it was, right? To buy your lunch. I'm a man. Yeah, that's what I am. Why is everybody playing? I'm a man. I'm old school. I'm Gen X. I'm a man. That's what I am. Married to women, a woman. You know what I mean? With kids. Why you want to play tonight? I don't want to play, man. Let me tell this story, okay? Matt, thank you. So you got to walk to school, right? With your key on your neck. You had to wake yourself up from school. That means whatever the weather is. And you know, Texas, we get one really bad winter week or 2 weeks a year. So it meant when it was raining, you had to walk a mile and a half, get to school. You know, if you lived by me near Pentagon, Keystone Pope, we had to walk this thing called a catwalk. It was about 18 inches wide, right? 18 inches wide, and it was a long concrete slab. And guess what was waiting under that? About 15 to 20 feet was a creek, Cripple Creek. And it had moccasins all in it. And the moccasins would be on this 18-foot slab, too. And so before you walk across, you know, one of your brave homeboys or you throw a rock or something that you picked up from Cripple Creek to get the moccasins to drop off of the catwalk. This is how we had to get to school. We did this every day. You think our parents knew that we dealing with water moccasins on the way to school? And when you cross that catwalk, guess what? Those neighbors got big Dobermans that could jump the gate. When you get past those Dobermans, because sometimes you didn't, they chased you. When you get past those Dobermans, I ain't no blood or cuz, homie. I'm a man. When you get past those Dobermans, guess what you're dealing with? Then there was we had the little Catholic monastery. And I'm gonna go into the Catholic story in a minute. A Catholic monastery. Now, if you crossed over the monastery, you get to school faster. So for us as little kids with little legs, man, we trying to get to the school fast. You know, it's raining or it's hot or it's cold, whatever it is, we dealt with the elements. That was the point of me painting that picture. And then I'm painting the same picture on the way home, right? You have it across the same catwalk. And the talk of the town back then used to be, hey, you know, always walk in a group, walk in groups, walk together. Man, I'm from South Oak Cliff. Man, I'm from Oak Cliff. You know what I mean? South Oak Cliff. But when I went to elementary school, man, I lived in the heart of Central Oak Cliff, Keeson Pope. You know what I mean? When you walk home in them groups, guess what's gonna happen? Like this dude was trolling me, talking about my homeboy slapped, man. Ain't no man slapped me in life. But that's where you gonna get slapped, though. You know, you gonna get slapped on your walk home. Why? Because somebody gonna play the dozens. If you ain't Gen X, you don't know what that means. If you are Gen X, I don't have to explain this. What's understood don't need to be explained, right? But if you ain't Gen X and you understand, playing the dozens meant they're gonna look at your clothes, they're gonna look at your tough skins, right? Because you wasn't wearing no Gucci and Louis. Some people had Lacoste, you know, their parents might have had some money, but you had tough skins with the patches on the knee. You understand? And then if you played football in the morning, like the rest of the boys did, if you did boy stuff, you understand, then you might have got tackled in the morning. You know, when the morning dew is on the grass, if you don't know what that is, that's the morning dew. When the grass is wet in the morning and they didn't water it, it's just the natural moisture. That put them green stains on your knees. You know what I'm talking about. You get them green stains on your knees. Put a hole in your pants. You know, mama be pissed when she get home. So you go through your whole day, man. You know, you go lunch break. You know, we actually did physical fitness, right? We actually had to climb rope, do push-ups. You remember the physical fitness test? We had to do all of that stuff, right? And if you got in trouble, you got a paddling with a big board that looked like a what's that sport they play? Cricket. Like cricket, man. Like cricket. Bow! 10 licks in front of the whole class, man, while you hold on the desk. 3 licks, you know what I mean? And you had to call your mama. 3 to 10 licks, and you had to call your mom and your daddy. And you hope you ain't had to reach your daddy. Because you know what? We from the generation when your parents looked at you and said, now, son, this gonna hurt you more than this gonna hurt me. Bullshit. It's not gonna hurt you at all. Matter of fact, you were probably frustrated. And man, look, my daddy was so cold, man. Larry the Mac James, my father was so cold. We each had a belt with our name on it. You know what I mean? That was like, I'm gonna use the word embroidered on there. So I guess that's what it was. But these were cowboy belts, because man, we in Texas. You understand what I'm saying? So we had snake skin, big, thick rattlesnake skin belts with our name embroidered on them. Now, we used to wear them with our boots, because really, we from the side. But man, when we got out of line, if a school called my mama and my mama told my daddy, because you know you had to beep him. You couldn't reach him unless you beeped him. Beep, beep, you know, the beeper. Man, and all he would do is he would let you know. He said, well, tell the teacher he gonna have to see me when he get home. That's it. Man, that done ruined your whole day, man. You know what I mean? Because you know, see, daddy don't tell no lie. And papa don't take no mess. So it's like, if he said it, he's not gonna forget. He gonna beat you. Man, listen here. I used to get to the hive and I see him, you know, pull up in the lack of one, because you know, we had 5 cars. He done pull up and I'm like, dang, hey daddy, how you doing? You know, hey, papa, hey, how you doing? And get on in there and go get your belt. Go get on up there and go get your belt. That's what he got to say for you. And see, my daddy, man, he was always a big muscular man. He's 74 right now and still big muscular man. He grabbed you with one arm, hoist you up like this here, and just pow, pow, pow. So I done got whooped at the school in the front of the class, right, with a big wood paddle. They done called my mama, who done called my daddy. Now my daddy wearing my ass out, and you can't even count how many licks you taking with this damn snakeskin belt. Now, once the tears begin to roll, now this with daddy, once the tears begin to roll, you trying to hold it, right? Y'all remember that long cry? You remember that cry? He said, boy, you better fix your face before I give you something to cry about. You remember that? I'm going to say it again. Boy, you better fix your face before I give you something to cry about. So I done got whooped at school. I done probably had to fight somebody on the way home. My daddy done pulled up early because daddy normally come home late at night. I done got whooped and I can't say nothing about it. I got to be silent and in the other room. Somebody said, I remember when the Cowboys were good. Boy, y'all be trolling. Be careful what you wish for. What did I wish for? So that just kind of just sets the premise. So I told you I was going to touch on the Catholic thing real quick. So I'm going to do that real quick. And that is this. I went to a Catholic school. Believe it or not, the first elementary school that I went to was a Catholic school. Catholic school, yes, sir. St. Peter's. St. Peter's and St. Philip's, matter of fact, went to both, right? One of them in South Dallas, one of them kind of North Dallas by the project. And I go back and I think about this stuff. And I'm talking to Gen X and everybody else just troll on troll. Because I'm looking for my tribe, right? The real ones. Man, I remember that when you said something wrong, man, my teacher, grabbed me by the ears, twist his hair part right here, and walked me into the bathroom, to the boys' bathroom, grabbed the bar soap, you know, the soap, the community soap that's for, you know, when you use the bathroom, you coming out, whether you're peeing or number twoing. Man, she grabbed it, man, and put it up against my tongue, man, with the water, man, and wash your mouth out with soap. Yeah, and all my Catholic teachers, all of them were white except one. I had one black one. But I'm going to tell you a quick story. And I'm going to give you this quick story. I want you to get it now. So she did that. And, you know, I never used to say nothing, you know, and I had a brother that went there. Y'all done seen him. He polar bear, man. You know, squabbling game out this world. But we both went there, right? And it went up to the 12th grade. So the things and the atrocities that I saw when I went to that school, man, listen here, that kind of shaped me a little bit. And the way that I used to get to that school, you know, and this is before I moved to Keystone Pope, I would catch the bus with my brother from South Oak Cliff. And we would walk across the street, walk across Ledbetter, catch the bus in front of his White House. It would take us downtown. I don't know if it was the 55 Lancaster. I don't remember because it's been a long time. And it would drop us off in front of the Greyhound, right there by the McDonald's. And I'll never forget, man, one of the most daunting moments. Again, I'm a kid. I'm 5. I'm 4. I'll stab you in your heart. I mean, that's what a homeless man saying to us. A homeless man just yelling us out, I'll stab you. Because by the Greyhound, that was where all the homeless people used to be. And then I still got to catch a connecting bus to get to North Dallas to get to the school. So just a traumatizing experience for Gen X, right? So I'm telling you about the Catholic school, and the lady done grabbed my ear and she done rubbed my mouth with soap. So I just had enough one day, man. I told my grandma. My grandma, man, is a Belle. And that means something in Oak Cliff. That means something down here. And she didn't take no mess, man. She was a maid. She had a little maid gig in North Dallas. But she said, what they do to you? You know, she said, okay. She said, I'm going to be up there tomorrow. I'm going to be up there tomorrow. Praise your way. I'm going to be up there tomorrow. Man, my granny was about 4'11" or 5 foot tall. Real short stature woman. I'm like 6'1.5", right? I'm taller dude. But I wasn't that thin, right? I was 4 or 5 years old. Man, my grandmama pulled up at 3 p.m. And she said, which one of them grab your ear like this here? Which one of them grab your ear? And so me and my brother, you know, we snitched. But if that's what y'all call it, we said that one right there. Now my brother, a year and a half older than me. So if I'm 4'5", then he's 6'7", right? Whatever that is. My grandmama, yeah, my grandma was my age. She was about 48, 50. She went and snatched that lady, and this was a black nun. She grabbed her and she twisted her ear over, just like you MMA. She said, "Now," she said, how I feel when you getting your ear twisted up. She walked that lady all around that school. How I feel picking on a little kid like that. Why didn't you just call the parent? I wish you would touch my grandkids again. And man, you know, I love Adam May for that, you know, for the rest of my life. Because my mama was more contained. You know, if the teacher said, you know, Vincent was talking or he did this or that, my mama kind of believed him and I was going to get a whooping when I got home. But man, that happened at the Catholic school. But also, if you talk to the Catholic school, then they get the rulers and they tell you to put out your hand and they beat your knuckles. I mean, a lot of things. Now, the one thing I give them, though, intellectually, they're going to get you right. By the time I left Catholic school, and that was the last conflict I had to have with them doing any what we call capital punishment today, they didn't touch me because my grandma was going to come up there and put heads on them. She was going to fight them for real. And she used to keep that pistol on her in her purse. So that's, you know, that's part of my family. So I ended up moving, you know, like I said, to Central Oak Cliff. Ended up going to John W. Carpenter, you know what I mean? And that's where we experienced, you know, the catwalk and the whole things that I started you with. But I wanted to walk you back while I knew about the monastery and how we had to walk past the monastery. But I knew I didn't want no parts of them, you know, those Catholic young ladies at the monastery, because they used to say, hey, don't cut across this grass. If you cut across the grass, and I was used to tell the people, I'm like, man, I went to Catholic school. You don't want that smoke. You don't want that smoke. So, man, I'm gonna tell you this. And then I'm gonna back up, and I'm gonna look at the comments because I had a few people trolling me. So when you think about Gen X, right, and you think about we were, you know, the latchkey kids, we were the ones watching the TV when the Challenger blew up, right, live, first, second grade, man. We saw it live. You know, they thought it was gonna be an amazing thing. Then it blew up. The don'ts, the say no to dope era. I mean, the ones that had the commercial, you know, crack the egg. This is your brain on drugs. You know what I mean? The ones who had the commercial. You never seen a person say, I want to be a bum when I grow up. You know, we're that generation. We're the generation that got home and made Spam sandwiches and had a commercial that said, my bologna has a first name. It's Oscar. My bologna has a second name. It's MY. You know what I mean? That's what we did. Made your cereal if you had it. If y'all had groceries, maybe you had government cheese, because that was the one thing, like, there's two societies, right? There's two Americas. So when you talk about America from a Gen X perspective, from the most of the Caucasian kids, they're gonna say, man, those were great times. Those were great times for them. For us, those weren't great times. For most of us, those weren't great times. Most of us, those weren't great times. That's when you got people starting to use crack. That's when you got people starting to use drugs. And it just turned into, you know, it turned into something different. I'm gonna take a couple of comments. Just know I subscribed to your channel and I liked it all because I want to see you cry this NFL year. Okay, nice troll, nice troll. I appreciate you. Still a Nation 11, man. Listen, you need to be focused on the math. That's what you need to be focused on. So really, to round this topic off, because I don't want my phone to die and I don't want y'all to die. You know what I mean? I want to speak life. A dude named Charlemagne that's on the Breakfast Club, right? Charlemagne the God is what he called himself. He was invited to The View being a very kind of liberal station. Like all of these media outlets, they're either liberal or they're super conservative, right? So it's like, if you're going to go on CNN, you know what you get. If you're going to go on Fox, you know what you get. Like me, I'm a middle of the road guy. I'm not an extremist. Does that make sense? I'm not a fanatic. I'm not a fan. I'm a middle of the road guy. I have strong beliefs in the Lord. And I try to follow those principles. Don't fall short of the glory all the time. But, you know, that's how I kind of vote. I vote my conscience. I'm not a Democrat or a Republican. I will tell you that. I have voted for both. I have already voted in the primary as a Republican. I will tell you that now. Voted for Nikki Haley before she wrote on the thing, kill them all with the little bump. I ain't into that stuff, man. So, you know, I cast my vote for her. whatever. And now she, she talking about kill everybody in Palestine. I'm not into that stuff. You know what I mean? That ain't. I'm into what's fair and just. And so I want to just call out this one thing so I can kind of conclude for the night. And that is, so they tried to pitch Charlemagne and they said, hey, in 2020, you voted for Joe Biden. You endorsed Joe Biden. They said, but why are you not, why don't you just endorse him right now? And he said, I believe both candidates are trash. He said that. And I'm not going to get into the whole politics of the trash, right? Or why he says they're trash, but I'll tell you this. And that's why I said Gen X, come on in here. Gen X, you know that we're in our late 40s or we're in our 50s, right? When are we going to lead? When are we going to lead, man? Now, I'm going to take the cowboy stuff off. When are we going to lead, man? Because the reality of the situation, man, you got two candidates, two baby boomers, and this is a fact, two baby boomers, like getting ready for a boxing match. You know what I mean? What was it with Muhammad Ali, the Rumble in the Jungle? It's like it's November about to be the Rumble in the Jungle, but amongst baby boomers. Nothing wrong with baby. My dad is a baby boomer, my mother, but I wouldn't want my mother or my father running this country. My father was in the military. Right? My father had been shot up. He done made money. He done lost money. He done been on drugs. I still wouldn't want him leading this country because there's certain things he won't understand at his age, at 74. These dudes are older than my daddy. They older than my pops. Why are we putting them in here reading over policies, approving policies? Look, and I'll be completely honest with you. Your generation may have been the problem. Your generation, look, 2 days ago was the 80-year anniversary of us storming Normandy, right? So you were around. You were around when there were colored-only water fountains. You were around when your parents were probably using the N-word about black people. You were around when people were sicking dogs on black people. So how can you then either one come and say, I'm going to liberate y'all. I'm going to save you. I'm going to help you. You can't. And listen, I will tell you, and I'll admit this, my money was better under Trump. That's a fact. But that just has something to do with their policies. Less government, more government. Biden was just sending out checks, rando checks to folks. Not me. None of them reached me. But Trump, his policies were more like pro-business, right? So, that was the difference. But I'm saying, when are y'all going to leave? Gen X. Yes, and yeah, we want Christ's Savior to lead. But you remember, he said this time he coming with a sword. He coming with a sword. He ain't coming to lead nothing. So I want y'all to understand that. Gen X, when you going to wake up and lead something? So are you going to let it jump from baby boomers, our parents? Like think back, Gen X. You remember Mama and Pawpaw, or Pops, or Granddaddy and Grandma, whatever you call them. At 72, 73, or 80 years old, would you be saying, Grandma go run the country? You wouldn't be saying that. You'd be trying to wipe the little pudding pop off their mouth. And hey, you sure you done had enough dressing? So why are we choosing these people to lead? Gen X, when are you gonna lead? I know we sat on the sidelines. I know why we sat on the sidelines. Hell, life was rough enough. We had to grow up rough, rugged, and roguish, right? We all had to fight. Like, you can't find a Gen X that ain't been to jail, the military, hell, meaning dead. I had to fight. You couldn't escape it because you had no supervision. And the only time when you got supervision, you was getting beat. You was getting a whooping. What we call it, with the extension card on the back. You know what I'm talking about. So I know we feel like we done took enough. We done took our bumps and our bruises, and we wanted to lay low and let them guide us on through this bad boy. Man, it don't look like that's gonna work. It don't look like, Papa Keller ain't gonna get us there, man. You got real psychopaths out here. You got real psychopaths in these other governments. And I ain't gonna say that we don't too, but I'm saying you need somebody that can deal with that. So in 4 years, if they're both 79 and 80, So what, they're gonna be 85? They're gonna be great grandmama them age. I'm a grandfather. I'm a grandfather. These people are great grandparents. And y'all want them leading the country and trying to decide on AI and TikTok, things they don't even know. They ain't never written a program in their life, probably never ran a query. Never ran a query. Never did a VLOOKUP. Wrote a formula. That's who you want running it. So look, I done had some Gen X on here, follow me, rocking with me, and I done had them come and drop out. I don't care. It ain't no political thing. It's just, when are you gonna step up and lead, man? You've been laying low in the trenches too long. So I'm gonna call you out. I know that you've been in the military. You can do stuff. What they say, Uji in daycare. I don't even know what that means. I don't even know what that means. I can't believe Cowboys. I don't even understand what that stuff is. So anyway, give me your opinions, man. Like, comment, subscribe, because we're going to talk more about this, but I really need to understand where Gen X's head is with this. And are both candidates trash? You know, both candidates are great grandpapa. And this ain't no, this ain't on that. It's just on Gen X. When y'all gonna lead? When you gonna tell them what you believe? Man, you know what I mean? I wish some of the comments were like really helpful or useful. You know what I mean? Something so we can have dialogue. But you're not dialoguing with me. Y'all talking about Cowboys, and we'll talk about that some other time, man. You know, and when we talk about sports, you know, right now my mind state is on the Mavericks. That's Thursday, so we'll do that later. But I don't know, man. Like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you subscribe, share. Hey, man, if y'all want to cash at me, it's $ Vibo Neely. $ Vibo Neely, Nealy. Man, and I want to keep coming to you. I want to have real conversation. And then, the trolls gonna troll, the kids gonna kid. But I'm talking to Gen X, man. I'm looking for my tribe. All right, cheers.